3-second countdown. All right, we live, my boy.
Here we go.
What's good, coach of the century?
What's the deal, baby? What's up, man?
I had to get you first. You had to go first, and then I'm gonna get Mar. I gotta get Mike Red too. Then I'm gonna go down the line. I told Ed too. I don't know. Ed must be somewhere partying tonight. But
He is. Yes.
let me get a little introductory. I'm sure everybody knows you, but give me a little introductory of who you are, where you from, and how you
So
got here.
we live right now, right?
Yeah, we good to go.
Um, I'm Brandon Hanks. For those that don't know who I am the new head boys varsity basketball coach at Henninger High School, which is actually my alma mater where I graduated from. Um, I did play basketball there. I went on to continue my education at Morrisville State College. Um, After I left Morrisville, I became a Syracuse police officer, where I am currently the school resource officer at Henninger High School, and I just took over as the head boys basketball coach there at Henninger High School now.
So I'm gonna start off with your high school career. Give me your high school coaches when you were at Henny.
My high school head coach was Eric Cerrone, who I still have him heavily involved in everything I'm doing right now at Henninger High School. My JV basketball coach was Coach Jason Dudzinski, who I
Shout out,
actually can you hear me?
coach. Yeah, shout out, Coach Jay.
Yep, I actually talked to him today on the phone, and and I reminded him that there's no way I'd be where I am right now without that man. Just as a mentor, a coach, just everything he did, everything. There was Coach Mack, who I believe just recently moved out, or he moved to North Carolina, I believe. Coach Mack. We had Coach Woody, who's now over at West Genesee. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. And Coach Gill, actually, Gill Spates was my assistant coach my junior and senior year in high school. Yep.
Shout
So
out, Gil. Gil's at SAS with the boys now.
for sure.
That's my man, Coach Woody. Woody's got those junior Wildcats, so he's starting the young boys off at the West Jenny program.
He's doing really well with them. Like
And
really.
everybody loves Coach Dudinsky too. Shout out to him. He's
He,
battling his health issues, but ain't nothing gonna hold him down.
no, absolutely. He's the man. Absolutely.
And then I'm surprised that Cerrone didn't bring his butt back yet.
Listen, man, we were playing. Listen, we were playing Nottingham Friday night, and I'm in the huddle, and I didn't even know he was coming to the game, and I look up. Obviously, the gym is packed, but he's the first person I saw. I almost threw the clipboard at him to draw up a play for me real quick, in the fourth quarter. Yeah, Cerrone, like I said, same with Coach D. Cerrone was one of the first people I got in contact with when I actually got the job, and we talk 2 or 3 times a week now. He gives me a lot of advice, moving forward, trying to get this program back to where it needs to be. So definitely shout out to Coach Cerrone because he's been a big help.
Yeah, he was a monster. He had a great career at OCC too, along with that Henniger too. I'm gonna bring you back though. Let's go back to your when you first started playing basketball. Where was your go-to gym at a young age back out there in Syracuse?
Higher on. So I grew up on the corner on the hill of South Ave in Colvin, and the closest park to me was higher Onondaga. So I would go up there pretty much every single day, play basketball up there. But where I actually fell in love with basketball was at the Hamilton Street Boys and Girls Club. I grew up there, um, so like that was my go-to place. I would say to play basketball was at Hamilton Street Boys and Girls Club.
And do you think that with looking back now, looking back how we are right now with basketball, do you think that those kids are missing out on the boys and girls clubs in Syracuse, whether it's higher community? I mean, higher. What's that? What's the one they got the Southwest? That's when I started coming to Syracuse back
Yep,
in.
South. Yes, there's South. There was a Southwest Community Center. There was a Shonert Street Boys and Girls Club, which still is still open now.
Hmm.
Hamilton Street Boys and Girls Club, East Fayette Boys and Girls Club. There was a bunch of them, and 100%, like that was like that was big. Not only was it big for kids, it was big for parents because every day after school we would just get on the bus and go right to one of the community centers. And if we don't have that no more, where are our kids at? You know what I mean? They get out of school, parents are at work, they can't be home with them, so we got a lot of kids just running around.
That's
You know
the
what I mean?
issue.
Without some of those boys and girls clubs, kids don't find their passions because at these boys and girls clubs, it wasn't just basketball. There was arts and crafts, there was
Hmm.
technology, they had the building meant like there were so many different programs that would come into these boys and girls clubs and do something with these kids that's really that's really where you found your true identity at with some of these boys and girls clubs. And not only that, some of the relationships that you make with people all started from being together at these boys and girls clubs in different sides of town. So it wasn't just a big help for the kids, it was also a big help for the parents who might not have babysitters and can't get off work in time to go pick the kids up from school. So it was big, and the city is truly missing that. They are.
We got one. That's where we got Booker T. Washington Community Center in Auburn. That's where I was raised at, and that's what brought us out there to
Did
the
they have an
Southwest
after
Center.
school program? Was it at, like
Yeah, it's
was it on
summer after school, all summer. I mean, we stayed there till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock sometimes at night. I mean, we did cooking,
see,
scavenger hunts outside when the weather was nice.
field
We got,
trips, all of that? Like
yeah,
I went on my
every
first
summer.
field trips and stuff like that with the Boys and Girls Club. Like it was great, man, and they are missing that. We should
And
try to get that back.
absolutely. And then shout out to D Bacon too, because D Bacon goes all in for his Boys and Girls Club.
Man, that man, that
Gilk, I know Chris Gilks was there for a while too. Shout out to him.
for sure.
I think he left. He just left.
Yep, yep.
But we
D
are.
Baker does a
It's
good job with them kids down there at the community
He
center.
throws them. He does them dances. He does cooking. He brings
Everything he
people
does,
in.
everything, and not only that, he's at everybody's game. Like
Yeah,
he goes to everybody's game, regardless
everywhere.
if you go to the Boys and Girls Club or not. Like he travels with them kids. Like and he does a really good job, and I, a lot of kids look up to him,
D
and
Bake.
great
D Bake is one of the real ones.
for sure.
And it's funny that you talk about that because I work at Hillbrook part time. I think you know that, but we were talking about that today. I asked the kids. I mean, I asked a couple of kids in there because, I mean, you know the kids that are in there, but they
Yeah,
said, yeah, when we were little, we went there, and then they just stopped going there, and that's when they started getting in trouble. To be honest, I was just talking. I worked 7 to 3 today. We were talking about that probably from 12 to 2 o'clock today with staff and kids.
yeah, man. We got to keep the kids busy and find something positive for them to do. Or unfortunately, these kids aren't mature enough to be able to say no to some of those negative influences. So all they got to do is just go outside, and here come the negative
Yeah, they got a point to
influences.
prove
Nothing
for
else to
somebody
do.
that's older in the neighborhood.
Yep,
So
yep,
you were at Henninger as assistant coach, right?
yep.
The last couple of years too. So
Yep.
when you were there, give me your hardest thing since taking over this job. What's been the hardest part about this job for you?
The hardest part about the job for me, probably right now, is old habits or trying to fix or change um old behavioral things that kids might, for the lack of better words, be okay with stuff like that. Trying to, like, you really gotta, before you even get to the basketball portion. What a lot of people don't understand, and I think Coach Nick just made a post about this.
Yeah, I was about to share it before I got on, but I clicked go live.
What people don't understand is that there's so many things being a coach in the city of Syracuse, and this is not just the city because um, the suburban schools probably deal with their own inner, department or inner program problems as well. But coaching in the city, there's so many different things that interrupt the program or the development of basketball before you even step on a basketball court, whether it be grades, attitudes, behavior, um, just the list can go on. So I think trying to change all those old habits and making new habits. What I try to do is bring the parents in first to let them know these are my guidelines and these are my standards, and I will not go beneath those or you know what I mean. These are my standards, and this is how I hold my kids accountable. And you got to be held accountable, whether you're the first man or the 12th man, or you know what I mean. And I think that's getting everybody to buy into that in such a short turnaround has been very difficult, and we're still not there yet. And that takes a while. Doing that, being a new coach in a new program, if you want things to go your way, it takes a while to get
Yeah,
everybody to buy in. Unfortunately, the best way to get people to buy in is to win games, and I hate that. But it's reality nowadays. People are attracted to wins, and people want to win. There's no bigger competitor than me. I'm probably the biggest sore loser you ever met. I do not like losing. I love competing. I love winning. But so I think that's a great question. I think dealing with the discipline and the behavior and the attitudes and allowing me to coach you. Because if you don't believe in me and you don't trust me, and
It's
you
gonna
have
go hard
that
for you.
attitude, you can't learn. You know what I mean?
That's
You just can't learn.
that's the number one thing. I missed that too.
I was the same way probably when I was in high school. Not really high school, but when I got to college, freshman, horrible attitude. It was very difficult to coach me. But when I started to change that and mature a little bit, by the time my sophomore year came, I started to realize like if I just listened and allowed my coach to coach me, it actually helped me get better. And that's why I am, the man I am today. And I understand that. So I just want people from the outside looking in to understand that yeah, you can look at Henniger's records in the last couple of years, and obviously it doesn't look pretty, but there was a lot of off the court stuff that
It's always
needed to be
happening.
addressed first. You know what I mean? Before you can even get to the basketball part. So now that I'm dealing with that, you'll start to see these kids are shooting better. Our shot percentage is going up. You know what I mean? Our turnovers will start to go down. We still turn it over a lot, but they'll start to go down because they'll start to listen to what you're saying. Because
These kids
again,
nowadays, they won't. They don't. If they don't trust you, they ain't gonna do nothing for you. And
they won't
a lot
do
of them
anything
got to trust you. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And
Sure.
you know, I think Mike Red tell you we work together, so I know what you've been doing since day one.
Right.
He loves it too. But
He's
that culture over
the
there,
biggest help in all that dude, man. Like
my
the
dog.
biggest help in all of that. It's there's a lot of like I do a lot and I deal with a lot, but I
Hmm.
know my workload could be a lot more if I didn't have him, on my staff. And
You gotta
he's been amazing with that stuff. He
you got a
like
female coach too. What's I don't know her, but what's your female coach's name?
Kiera Brown.
Shout out to Coach Brown too. And then what's my other guy name? What's my man name?
Reed,
Who left?
Coach Reed,
Reed,
Brand
Reed. So working in your school that you graduated from. What you graduated? I know I'm older than you, but when you graduated?
2010.
So 14 years ago till now, what you see every day, why are these kids so far gone, coach? Why are they what I don't what's the issue nowadays?
What
Because
I
I know you deal with it. I know you deal with it. I was a Century. I work at Roberts now.
right.
These kids, what are these kids missing?
Discipline, man. I hate to keep like harping on that, but accountability. Like it. Imagine, and I tell people this all the time. I explain this to other cops all the time, or other teachers, or people that deal with kids. Is imagine getting in trouble at school and going home, and there's no consequence for that. You know what I mean? Like, or imagine getting suspended and nobody knows about it but you. Some of these kids are getting suspended from school. They're failing classes, and there's nobody, absolutely nobody, other than the people at the school that are holding them accountable to that.
I see it every day.
Why would I change my behavior at school
And
and
nobody
do that
knows.
if there's nobody that's pushing me to do that when I get home? And it's not just blaming the parents because
Nah.
parents deal with a lot. They do.
Yeah.
Parents have a tough burden. They got multiple kids. They got to work. They got to focus on so many other things, feeding them, clothing them, all of this stuff. Now, on top of I got to deal with disciplining him for what he's doing at school. It's not easy. It's a lot. But without the discipline,
It's gone.
you,
It's far
you
gone.
don't have anything. You go to school and just I'll see you in 3 days. Bye.
My grandma raised me. My grandma was old school, but my grandma let my coaches coming up discipline me like they were my uncle, like my father. And
Yeah.
I yeah, and I'm on the attendance team at Robert. So
So
I
you
deal
get
with
it.
those calls. I deal with those calls every day. But I do gotta say that the parents do. Like I'm calling parents, the numbers are disconnected. Like I can't
Nah,
get in
nah.
contact with the parents.
Yep.
And I'm like, what if your baby? I mean, we got pre-K through 8th grade at Roberts. And I'm like, what if your baby is there's an emergency and we can't get a hold of y'all?
Yep.
Y'all gotta come update information. If you change your number, you gotta let the school know that you're updating that information.
Right.
And
Right.
then I got like the middle schoolers, like they're the letters that get sent home, like the referrals get sent home, but them kids are going to snatch them out the mail. When you get about 6th, 7th grade, you know that you ain't getting them.
Yep. And the kids are getting smart. They are.
Yeah.
They're real witty. And what I will say is this is that a lot of these kids, they they just need somebody to love on them,
Yeah,
or
man. I
somebody to
know.
care about them. That's
I
all.
know.
Just show up for them. The
I
same
see
way
it
you
every day.
show up with somebody putting their hands on your kid. Show up for them when they fail in a class or when they're passing a class. You know what I mean? Either way, show up to the school and those you got to show up for your
It
kids.
just can't be the negative situations at all because the
Negative,
kids,
man. I
when something positive happens, they're not going to feel that they need to tell you because they feel like the parents' reaction is going to be negative no matter what.
correct,
I
correct.
see that all the time.
Like I said, I used to look at some of these games and go to some of these games last year or the year before, and there's nobody in the stands watching these kids.
At all. Nick
Nobody
used to always
watching.
post about that. I think one parent came to a JV football game last year and somebody posted about that.
We had
Other
more
parents
kids we had more people for the away
away games.
than we did the home team. that little stuff matters. That's why I
Yeah.
really brag and I really emphasize on those parents that are constantly and consistently showing up.
Or on the
They
boosters
work all
club that want to work. I mean,
pro-
I'm sure you got parents working at the concession stands for you guys.
all of that, all of that,
Come
all of
out.
that.
The kids need that support on and off the court. Um,
They do.
but shot you were you at the SAS? Were you at 3 wins? So you already beat last year's. Well, you tied last year's record, right?
No,
For wins.
we just beat last year's record with a win on Saturday. Last year we were 2-19. Right now we're currently sitting at 3-3. We got the most games right now. I think everybody else got 3 games. We got six
Yeah.
in already.
And you've had a bad. I mean, I came to SAS game. I had games the other day, but that gym has been packed the last 4 games for y'all, right?
And Jeff, I'm telling you, listen, coach, that matters. It
I
100
know.
matters. When
I
you
know.
people and you get the community back involved, the kids feed off of that. They really do. We in a new day and age now where social media is everything. So
Yeah.
kids seeing their highlights and their reels and they pictures and they, you know what I mean? They putting music to it and they little clips. That stuff matters because the
That's
kids
why I do what I do. That's why I do what I do for free.
they do. They do. So we got to pack the stands, and I'm gonna do my best to make sure all the games are packed
That
moving forward.
that first game at SAS was jumping too though. That they damn sure played to that crowd. Your point guard damn sure did. How you say my man? How you say Nakeem? How you say his name?
Nymir Dozier.
Amir.
Nymir
You,
Dozier.
you definitely got a point guard.
Junior, only a junior, young, great kid, great player, straight A student. Just he
He's
does
good.
everything we want him to do on the court. Like
I'm not.
and he's only getting better. He's
Yeah,
only
yeah. How many seniors you got? You only got a couple, right?
we got four right now. We got Tyon McLee, Prince Eboa, Joels Lewis, and LaShawn Junius right now.
So give me. I'm not gonna say no names, but let's go to the discipline. I seen that letter that Red. Show me that letter that you gave to one of your players the other day. Let me tell you this. I'm not saying no names. Coach Hanks, wait, let me just speak upon the letter that you wrote to your player the other day. You did not kick him off your team after a disciplinary action happened in school. Just
Yep.
detail that letter that you gave to that kid, explaining the outcome of the situation that happened.
So essentially, what happened was we had a player who had he had been missing. It was actually two players. We had two players who had been missing practices. One of them actually missed a game. Um, so after talking about it with the coaching staff, about what the discipline was going to be, and the kid had an excuse. Whether I accepted the excuse, I didn't. Whether I liked it, but he did have an excuse. He did, but it just wasn't. It wasn't okay with me, and it sets a bad precedent moving forward for the rest of the team. Thinking that that's okay. So what I did was I drafted a letter with a Henninger letterhead of Henninger boys basketball, and I explained to them that kid is suspended indefinitely. And what indefinitely means is that um, you're suspended until you show us that you're truly committed to this team. You know what I mean? And yeah, basically, in the suspension letter, it let him know, like, hey, you're suspended indefinitely. You are to report to all meetings, film sessions, practices, games, etc. Until your suspension is up. So I basically left it in the hands of him. Um, he could have took that letter, ripped it up, walked away, and said, "I'm done." He truly could have.
I was gonna text you too because I said I like that you didn't kick him off the team. I
Right,
said I like
correct.
that.
Because what I want to do is I'll leave that to him to be kicked off the team. I don't
Yeah,
want to kick him off. He kicks himself off. You quit. Just quit. Go ahead. And we'll just have to move on without you. Again, whether you're the first man or the 12th man, you got to go. So again, I have to lead by example and show you that I'm not playing around when it comes to this. I've lost games before. I
yep.
was an assistant coach on the coaching staff last year where we went 2-19, meaning we lost 17 games. I sat there on the bench losing and lost 17 times. I know how to lose now. You know what I mean? Is it a good feeling? No, but I know what it feels like, and I'll do it again if I have to. Don't play with me, and that's my pitch to them is just don't do that because anything you need, I'll give you. Any tool you
Absolutely.
need, I'm there and I'll give it to you. Communicate with me. If you got a problem, I'm gonna help you solve it every time, 10 times out of 10. So
And they
that was
and they
the
see your face
decision,
every day,
and
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 they see your face every day to know that you're not playing.
correct. And what that kid did is he took that letter, he put it in his pocket, took it home, he sat on it, and those next 3 days he probably was the best kid in the gym because he realized that like this is serious. I could really lose out on this opportunity if I keep playing with it. So I think it worked. I like to think it worked. And again, it could have backfired and it couldn't. You know what I mean? I didn't know. We had to give it a try, and I'd like to think it worked. And
I,
that was more on Coach Red. That was actually
for
him.
that, yeah, we were sitting at lunch. We was eating lunch, and I said, "Oh, I meant to text you. I meant to text you after I read that too." I said that suspended
Yep.
indefinitely.
Yep.
Um, and then next, let's go back to the culture of basketball around the area right now.
Yeah.
Give me your scale from 1 to 10, where we are on the boys' side, out
Um,
of 10.
1 to 10, 10 being good about the
Yeah,
culture,
10.
10 being
Where we at?
um. This is rough. I'd like to say we're at a solid 5.
Absolutely,
And,
that's what I was
and,
gonna say.
and what I will say about this is I see it moving forward though. I do. I don't. I, I think brighter days are ahead. I will say that. I do think we have to collectively all stand on that type of model though, because if we don't, kids will see other kids doing that at a different school and think,
They can
well,
go over there and do it.
go over there. I'm just gonna go over there. Like Coach
Lamar's
K
dealing.
talking about this and that. I'm just gonna
Lamar Lamar's dealing with right now at Ham too. Shout out to him. He stood his ground on a situation too
100%.
that everybody knows about. I'm not
Yeah.
saying no names, but
Text me
he said
after
the
our
coach.
saying,
Yep.
congrats after we won. He
He
said,
he had a
congrats.
point.
And I said, thank you. Congrats. Good job on standing on business.
He had a point. He's got a point to prove, and he damn sure point to prove. And the
It's
real ones,
it's
the
too
people that
early.
know, seen it.
It's too him being a first year head coach. It is too early in the season for him to be okay with something like that.
Dealing with that.
Got to do it right now.
There's too
You
many
got to
youngins.
improve the game.
There's too many youngins coming up that are going to be good in both y'all programs to deal with that nonsense. Now get that nonsense out of there.
And those kids are too good. And I'm not gonna allow you to slip up like that. I'm not. I'm
But
not.
so
So me
that
disciplining you now is actually helping you in the long run.
and the young
Even
kids
if it's
got
not for me, even if you graduate and go somewhere to college or a job or whatever, you need to understand that this is not okay.
and it's setting the precedent for the young kids that are coming up that don't pull nothing like that when y'all
For
get
sure.
there. So
Absolutely, for sure.
that culture being out of 5, these kids. Let me ask you, how many kids came to your first 7 a.m. workout? Because you know I follow you all the time, and I seen the videos that you post. That
So
first 7 a.m. workout, how many kids
six
came?
6 a.m. and the first one we had one kid,
And by the last one, how many kids you had?
like 7 to 8. And again, this is before school starts. They're getting up at 6 a.m. Some of them I go pick up, like 3 or 4 of them I'll pick up and put them in my car. Um, and we'll drive to the gym. We'll get to the gym about 6:10, 6:15, and we'll work out for an hour right before the bell rings before they got to go to school. So once one person did it, then the rest of them started to say, "Oh, I want to do that because I want to get better too," and
Lock
that's
in.
cool. You know what I mean? And I think more kids started to fall in line.
And then how many? So you had 7 at the end of that, and then how many kids were playing football with Nick too? Because you got some football players y'all do too, right?
Correct, correct. I think three of them, Nymir, Dijon, Milo, like we had like 3 of them
And
that were
just varsity, and some JV kids too that play football too.
JV kids as well. Yep. So they would wake up in the morning at 6 a.m., work out with me, go to school, go to football practice. Then I'll have a practice or a workout, and they'll come work out with me again. That's all day long, all day long.
This got to
Go
be a
do it
conversation
all
too.
over again.
You obviously coaching basketball. Did you agree with kids playing more than one sport too?
Yeah,
You
I'm
want
with
to
it.
play one sport?
I'm with it. I like kids playing multiple sports because it obviously keeps them busy, keeps them in shape, keeps them engaged, gets them stronger. But now that I'm a head basketball coach now, I'm starting to be a little more biased towards the basketball side where I'm not talking you out of it, but
Nick,
I'm
don't
not
cuss him
talking
out,
you
Nick.
into it
If
too.
you watching, Nick, don't cuss his ass out.
Yo, right, 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 right. So
They
I'm leaning. I'm a basketball head. I'm a basketball coach. So I obviously want you in the gym with me, opposed to playing football. But I'm not. I'm not one of those coaches that tells you no, you can't do that. Like I would never do that because I was a multiple sport athlete as well myself. So
Yeah, me
no,
too.
never.
What is So give me your expectations coming into the year. Did you think that you were gonna open up how you are with these first 4 games? Did you set like a standard that you wanted to go to open the season? How many wins you wanted to have, or did you just want to
No,
go out there
not
and play
really.
hard?
No, and to be honest, I never really thought about it like that. Like, oh, I got to get this many wins. I never, because again, we are so far away from where we need to be right now that that was never even a thought in my mind about the winning games thing. But I truly knew that if let's say there's 7 things that we do horribly or we have to fix, I know if I fix those 7 things, we will be a better basketball team, which will lead to us getting wins. I knew that. Did I think we would start off 3-3? You know what? I didn't think so. I didn't think we would win 3 games this early. I didn't.
Y'all
because
play
again,
6 already? You play 6 already?
I played 6 games already. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, we're 3-3. Yep. Now I threw the SAS game in there early. I was the first team to play. And referees and other coaches are calling like, "Yo, you crazy, Hanks? Why you throwing in a game that early? You only
Yeah,
had
I played that
7
Saturday.
practices, whatever." It was a fast turnaround, but I knew going into ITC with those kids in a packed gym, Naquan and
Get used
Taekwon,
to it.
hype. Coach Hodge is a great coach. I knew it was going to be a tough battle if we played them our first game, and I knew we could potentially, drop one or two early. So I tried to get
Get them out the way.
home game in there first because the way the schedule was set up, I really didn't like it. We had 3 away games to start the year off. At
That's how I did. I just had my first home game too, but I didn't make the schedule
ITC
there.
home opener, at Beeville for their home opener, at Bishop Ludden for their home opener, even though it was at JD. Those are 3 tough games.
All of them.
So I wanted to get a home game in there first. And Jeff, I'm telling you, that could have backfired on me. It really could have if we walked in there and lost to SAS. Luckily, we got it done and we took care of business. So I think it's playing out the way I expected it to play out.
That pack gym helped y'all too for that first game.
Big time, man, big time.
So
Because
those
that's
6
real scrappy. They're
those
real
6
scrappy, real
those
team.
those 6 games, let me tell you this. Let me say was Naquan and Jazier the best 2 that you played against thus far in them 6 games?
Jazar from Bishop London is by
Yeah.
one for sure.
He on a rampage this year.
That's my dog. And
Speaking of,
I coached both of them
yeah,
at
in the
New York
summer.
State Fair tournament. So those are my dogs, my kids, man. And that's the hardest part about this coaching thing now is I got so many good
Everybody.
relationships from all these kids. I don't want them to think that I'm not rooting. I'm rooting for you.
Yeah,
Just
they know that.
after my game is over. That's
We
all.
know that. They all
Once
know
my
that.
game is over, then listen, do your thing. But I never told Jazar to score that many points again. I actually got a list right now.
What he
of
scored
kids
36 and 25?
Say
Is
it
that what
again.
he came up? What he get? What he gave y'all?
I don't want to talk about it. So I got a list. I got a list of kids right now that can't play in the 10K tournament. He's
Yeah.
right at the top of my list. He's banned. Kwani's banned.
Yeah.
The whole ITC team is banned. They might as well not even register.
Yeah.
They're my kids, man. I love them kids, though. I do.
I knew Naquan got busy in the summer when I had them in the Salt City. Him and Adam and Daquan. You just got sometimes you gotta let them be free. And then Jazier got busy. They are busy all summer, so
for sure.
It's gonna be another fun summer for that Salt City League.
I can't wait.
Give me the who you got this week coming up?
We got FM on Tuesday at FM.
I don't know. Did they lose everybody last year too? But they're always scrappy too. Anyways,
Tucci
always got them.
Tucci always put it together. Like he always put. Coach Tucci is a great coach. He actually went to Henninger with me for I think a year. Good dude, good coach. They always got a good program. He's always put it together. You're not just gonna walk in there and beat them.
Nah, not there either.
They figure it out. They win games.
And their crowd too. They always what they call the FM chirp squad.
Yep. That's tough too for sure. But like I'm real confident in my kids right now. We hot, we rolling.
Yeah, I'm balling.
My kids they on top of it right now, and we're only getting better.
So when you took over, I mean, I had this conversation. I always talk to people about how Fran Brown has changed that culture first. When you took over this job, did you want to change the culture of things first before you change the on-court stuff? Was always a question that I want to ask new coaches.
100%, absolutely. The culture got to change first, because if the culture is bad, then the court is bad. The court don't matter. If you ain't passing your classes and getting to school on time and doing what you're supposed to be doing, everything on the court don't matter.
It's going to carry over. Absolutely. I always say that too, because like when Fran Brown first got here, I think the first thing he had them do is doing was community service. They was down in the neighborhoods working, cleaning up. I think the day after he took the job, they was down in some neighborhood cleaning up outside.
Yep.
And then that led, I think they started out 3-0.
Right. You gotta do stuff like that, man, because again, that program, that SU program is a reflection of him.
Yeah.
So when it's all said and done and he leaves there, you gotta leave a footprint.
No matter what.
Henninger in 5, 10, whatever years from now, I want to leave a footprint to say, wow, look how it was before, and then look how it was when he got here and did this. You know what I mean? Even if it's not winning games, I'm telling you, I mean that. Like the winning part, that'll come. I promise you. It's
the culture
change of positive attitudes. We're all passing our classes. We all got aspirations to go to college or get into a trade, whatever, just to be a successful product of the environment or of your community. You know what I mean? And that's way more important than the basketball part.
That's my first thing.
I'm a basketball coach. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
But these are all young men, and they got to do something.
Everything starts off the court too. That's why I was kind of mad that I took the job so late at SAS, but I wanted them to get. I wanted to have team shoes. I got them. I got them all shooting shirts.
Oh, yo, Jeff, all that stuff you're doing is going to help you win.
Yeah, it's gonna. I ain't
Help you
worried about it
win,
yet. We don't. I opened up with two monsters. My first game was the 30th, and we gotta go right to Nottingham, the
right?
damn top team in Double A,
Absolutely,
and
right.
then
And you went in there, bro,
Marcellus.
I know that game. I was there. I was
We
there.
got whooped. We got whooped, and then we
Yeah,
played West Hill yesterday. And
yeah, but this type of stuff don't happen overnight,
nah, man, I
especially
know, I
coaching
know.
girls, because we know with girls basketball nowadays, there
These
obviously
girls,
isn't a lot of participation.
yeah,
I think it's starting to get a little better, though. I will say that.
they
I think
are.
it's
And then I
getting,
said
but
we can't really. I told my girls we can't really judge until we're 10 games in because y'all didn't really have an off season.
right.
Yes, yeah, and then yesterday I was mad a little bit at the West Hill game, but after I checked the stats, we started the first 5 minutes and we finished the last 5 minutes, and we outscored them 23-11 in the fourth quarter. So we're
So,
gonna have Skinny
so
Alice. We're
you
gonna carry
listen.
that to next week.
It's the small wins. If you keep
Yeah,
finding those small wins, that will
it
lead to
wasn't
the
no
bigger
50-point
ones. I promise
blowout
you.
like the first two games.
Yep, I promise you, it will lead to the bigger ones. We were at a game. What was it? Mind you, because we went 1-6 in the summer league. We was getting smacked. You know what I mean? Smacked.
McChesney?
So I literally had to tell them like, yo, we lost this game, y'all. But look, we never made 15 for free throws before. Clap it up, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like
the positive stuff.
small wins matter. It really does. And one thing I don't like, I want to speak on this real quick. And one thing I don't like, and I'll never do, is I'll never judge another coach. I've literally listened and heard the whispers last year or the year before. Oh, Henninger this and Henninger that. What they doing over there? They got this. I would never judge another because I truly don't know what's going on in their building or their locker
Hmm.
room. So I'm never gonna look down on nobody for losing a game or judge you or why they do that. I don't care what the decision was. If you truly thought that was the best decision of your team and it didn't work out, cool,
Yeah.
own it.
And Gil,
But
and
I
then shout out to Gil
don't
because
like coaches that
Gil
judge other coaches. I'm not.
Gil dealt with it.
I'll get on
Gil
like
dealt with that a lot. Gil dealt with a lot of bullshit, man.
yeah,
And Gil is a
he
good
did.
ass dude. You already know. Gil's a good ass
We'll do
dude.
anything. We'll do anything for anybody.
Hey,
Anything
but
for anybody.
get your shirt off the back. The first time I seen him walk in the gym, he came right up to me, gave me a hug, and said, "Congratulations."
Correct.
And
Correct.
he ain't never going. He don't care where he gonna coach anywhere. He gonna coach
Right.
anybody, give anybody a gym, no matter where
Absolutely.
you at.
I will say this. And I want to give him a shout out too. When we dropped to 1-3, right? And I'm like, oh man, I was frustrated, man. I was, because it get a little overwhelming. It get a little stressful. A new program, they expect you to come. Everybody expect you to come in and
He
start
called
winning.
you.
I
He
dropped to
called you.
1-3. I went to the Pepinos tournament and I bumped into Coach Jones, James Jones from JD.
Hmm.
We had a 7-second conversation, and I literally turned into a new person like that. Because I was down. I was feeling down. Like,
Yeah.
oh man. He literally came to me. He's like, yo, Hanks, y'all lost to Bishop Ludden, but last year you would lose to Bishop Ludden by 40.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Y'all would have lost by 40 last year. He
And
goes,
Ludden got a chance to go to the
and he
trip.
literally went like this. He goes, yo, I see the improvement. And that's all I needed to hear.
Everybody did from y'all from day one. Even I mean Nick with
Correct.
football too. He done
Right.
turned everything around over there.
Right. It just
People,
takes time. It don't
the
happen
people
overnight.
from the outside, man. My first two games, I ain't call put them stats in or nothing because I was embarrassed. And I went to legs and I went to legs and nigh. I said, "Damn, Bradford, what we about to do?"
Right.
And then we
Yo,
got yo.
it takes
I'm in
time.
practice doing chest passes and layup lines and 3-man
Yeah.
weaves. I said, "We got to get back to the basics." I
Back to
said,
the
"We ain't playing."
fundamentals. Start right from
I
the
said,
beginning.
we ain't playing zone. I said, unless we get in foul trouble, we not playing zone. We got to play
Right.
man.
Right. You
But
gotta learn how to
sometimes
do that.
you got to build everything up.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
And
and
again, I want to stress this to you. That does not happen in a day. It
nah,
don't happen in a year. It takes a while to get that back where
I
you
need
need it.
that. I need an off season because
Yeah.
the potential is there, and I hate people that judge from the outside because this shit is a grind every day,
Listen, we ain't getting paid.
every day,
We ain't getting paid
nah,
millions of dollars to do this.
at
We're,
all,
we're good people and want to help kids. That's it.
every
That,
day. And the
that's it.
people, I can't stand parents. And then while we on there, I can't stand these parents that get on here and just want to talk junk and don't do nothing either, man. I hate that shit. I hate it.
That's rough too, man. I don't
Pop-
like it.
pop- I see it in Pop. I see it in Pop Warner football all the time. You know, I referee that. These parents, these kids are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. They just learning the stuff now. Y'all can't be cussing these coaches out. Y'all can't be cussing the referees out.
Man, listen, like
You got to come help.
it's it's become is it's become a bickering match. It's like this whole culture of sports now in the city of Syracuse. It's like not even just a city and just Syracuse in general is a bickering match among people. Like who could brag more than the other person?
For no reason
You know what I mean? Like why are we? If the kids is playing, you're not playing. You ain't beat Brandon Hanks. You
at
beat
all.
Henninger. Like it's the kids playing. You know what I mean? Like don't. I I can go on all day about that. it's embarrassing, and they gotta get it together. They do
I salute all the parents that volunteer their time. I salute all the coaches that do it.
for
The
sure.
referees too.
For sure.
I was turned up yesterday on some referees, but then I said, let me fall back because I know how it feels to be one of them.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
said I got a warning yesterday, but I ain't gonna get. I was gonna get attacked, but I said, nah, let me stop because I can't have that.
What
I can't have a
that
target on my back.
Where in football for
We
what?
yesterday with the referees against us against West Hill, we had an
Oh,
older guy
okay.
that he was just blowing stuff,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I let him go because the referee's hard job, so I know that I've been there.
Right.
Um, so let's go back to when you graduated Morrisville.
Hmm.
What made you want to become the police officer? Was it a choice? When did you know it before you graduated college or when you went to college, or did you think about doing it?
Not at all, man. I joined. Actually, only reason why I went to Morrisville was because my two best friends went, Quentin and Aquan.
Mhm.
I had applied, and that was the only school I applied to and I got accepted to. But I only did it just because everybody else was applying. So I
Out
just
there.
applied.
I went there my freshman year, man. You know, about there in the
Yeah, see, I
cuts.
didn't know that. I didn't know that. So
It was in the cuts.
I middle of nowhere. So when I got there, I showed up first day of classes with nothing. I didn't have no financial aid, no nothing, and they took care of everything in the day. I didn't know what major to do, so I always been interested in criminal justice, so I just took criminal justice, and I kind of like fell in love with it a little bit. Like I actually liked it. Like it was intriguing to me. So once I got out of college, I took a job as a security officer at Upstate
Mhm.
Hospital right there in the ER. I was working for Securitas. Did that for 3 years, and I'm watching my coworkers that I was working with. They was all taking a civil service exam and becoming police officers. So now I'm sitting there with my security uniform on, looking around like, well, what am I gonna do? I got to try something too. So I was like,
What's next?
right. So they did it, so I did it. You know what I mean? And I actually got in. It wasn't easy, but I got in, and you know, there we went.
Now coming from, I mean, we know your background. We
Yeah.
know that you were a Henninger grad.
Hmm.
You had some friends that was in the streets.
Yeah.
Were you scared when you took that police job of how they were going to look at you? Or did you care? Did you give us did you care? Did you have a care in the world or what they were going to say to you? Or were you more focused on this is my career, this is what I want to do, this is the route that I want to go?
Oh, absolutely, I cared. Like I 100% cared, and it bothered me for a while. Like especially early on, I got hired when I was 24 years old. So I was still, I was young. You know what I mean? And all of that stuff still mattered to me. My people I grew up with, people I went to high school with. Like absolutely, I 100% cared about that. And it was nerve wracking for a minute because as the calls are coming in, when you work patrol, you go all over the place. So as the calls are coming in, growing up in the city, playing basketball in the city, and going to school in the city, like everybody. You know what I mean? So as the calls are starting to come in, I start to hear these names, and it's like I see these faces, and I'm like, damn, I know him too. Like I went to school with him. He used to be in my class, or he played on my Kirk Park team or my Valley
Mm,
team. So it was very difficult having to deal with that. It was
on your mental.
correct because like I don't want you to think that I'm here. I don't want to lock nobody up and take nobody to jail. Like you know what I mean? It's my job. So, but then as I started, as the years went on, and I started to realize like the people that truly care about me and that truly are for me, they wouldn't do anything to jeopardize our relationship based on what my employment is with the Syracuse
Yep.
department. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So once I started to realize that and learn that, I didn't care no more. I was happy. I was making a lot of money. I was taking care of my family. So that stuff, and to this day, it don't bother me no more now. Like not at all.
And
Like
then you went through some nonsense. I ain't even gonna speak on that bullshit, but that
right,
shit pissed me off when I read that. But let's go to the positive side.
yeah,
When you made all that national news,
yeah,
I know you had a bunch of haters along the way. But
yeah.
what made you realize that you had to do something along those lines to make sure that the police got that target off their back of how that negative everybody thought negative about the Syracuse City Police Department?
Well, what it was,
What made you go and do that one-on-one stuff?
what it was that was right at the. I feel like it was right at the perfect time because it was right at the bulk of the George Floyd incident. Remember the
Mhm.
Floyd
Yep,
incident?
yep. It
So
was.
right when that happened, they was all over police in general. Like huge target on the police's back, on police back, but not only the police back, on the minority police's,
Yeah.
all the minority police out there. The African Americans, and to be specific, um, it was very difficult policing at that time. Again, not only as a police officer, but as a black police officer, because now the community are expecting you to, you know what I mean, stand with them as if I don't believe what was done to George Floyd was wrong as well. Like
Mhm.
I'm very vocal about that. You know what I mean? So like I I believe that when people get in these type of these job titles, especially police officers, you have to be fair in it. You know, you got to be, you just got to be fair. You got to treat people equally. You know what I mean? And that's vice versa. The community got to treat, police officers equal as well. Don't treat me according to what another police officer did to
Yeah.
somebody else. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't know me. You just know that I got this badge on and my uniform on. So that was my big pitch and why I went out and I took what I know best, which is basketball, and I started engaging with the kids because the adults will be the adults. They got their mind made up. What I don't like is the young kids getting influenced by that type of stuff and thinking that police officers are bad based on a bad encounter that a police officer had that they see on the news or on the internet. So I chose to use the basketball as a tool to engage with these kids to show them, like, listen, man, I slept in the same type of house you slept in. Like,
Mhm.
same streets that you grew up in. I had to walk to Kirk Park to go to football practice, and I go to the same corner stores and played at the same parks that you went to. Don't get it twisted. I'm still a human being. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. What was the
And which led to the other portion of it is like, listen, I showed you too. I'm not with the racial, the
that
racist
target
stuff.
on your that target
No,
on
I'm
your
not
back?
with that. Like, again, I showed you both sides of it. I stand up for whatever is right, regardless of who's doing the wrongdoing at all. So that's one of the things I was happy and fortunate enough that I could show these kids is that there's two sides to it. You know what I mean?
Did now with that, I bet, I mean, I know more positive came from negative, but when you were in the midst of all that, did you get called in? Did your bosses call you in and ask you, are you sure you really want to do this? Do you want to keep going? Do you want to be involved? Was there
Which
negative that came with that, with the
basketball?
positive? Yeah, yeah. When you do all that stuff in the community,
No, no, no. They were. Oh no,
everybody's
no.
100%
They were
supported you.
100% supportive of all of that. Obviously, there was people that didn't like that I was getting all the attention, but that's what anything people start hating on stuff like that. But no, they were 100% supportive of that. Anything I needed, they were right there with me. No, because it was good. It was good. PR for the police department. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
no, they were absolutely all for that stuff, and I was very appreciative of that. I really was.
And then how did you end up with how did you get that connect with the Rondo in the shoes?
So what happened was our former chief of police, Chief Buckner, he was from down there in like I think the Kentucky area or the Arkansas.
Yeah, I think it might have
It was
been New Orleans too. Did he come
Yeah,
from?
yeah, somewhere down there, he had a connect with another lady who was the head of Rondo's like giveaway foundation or something like that. And when she saw it on the news, um, she actually made the phone call to the chief and let the chief
And they
know,
tell
hey,
him,
I want to, Rondo wants to donate all these shoes to what y'all got going down there. So he was actually the plug or the connect with that. So I actually got to talk to Rondo, and he's always been one of my favorite basketball players to this day. So
yeah.
um, that was real cool. That's how that came into play with Rajon Rondo donating the sneakers.
He got a son coming up that's about to be the truth too. I think he
Oh,
coaches
I'm
AAU team. I
watching
think
some of the videos. I don't know what grade. You know what grade he's in now?
he got. I think it's seven. It's either seventh or eighth grade. I just on Instagram now. Him and Chris Paul's son.
Oh,
They
I didn't
both
even
they
know.
in middle school.
I thought he was older than that.
He
Okay,
might. Yeah, I think it's still middle school.
I've
And
been
then
watching some of his clips on Instagram. He's tough. He's tough.
so when you took that job with the police, you took that civil service job. You waited around. What was your call when you got that? When you got that initial call to start the interview process, did you have doubts in your mind, or did you know that was something that you were going to go through with 100%?
Um, No, I knew it was something I was gonna go through it 100% because I'm like so driven, man. It's actually like unhealthy. Like when I got my mind set on something, there's nothing that's
You
gonna
going all out? That's
yo.
how I feel.
I'm
That's what
going
my wife
all
tell
out.
me.
Again, sometimes that can be very very unhealthy, like very because I just don't I literally
You ain't gonna stop till you make it
I
happen. That's
just
all
don't
that is.
I don't stop no matter how much sleep I don't get. So when I actually got the call from like my background investigator saying, yo, like, you're good to go. You're about to be, we gotta start the process. I was happy, man, because I'm like, yo, I never been in trouble. Like I just was I felt like as if I was the perfect candidate.
Did you
So,
train for that fitness test? Because I failed that shit. Did
you
you
know,
like you was already you was in shape when you did it?
so I wasn't in shape, but I was all right enough to get through it. I'm
Yeah,
not
what
gonna lie.
that mile and a half was
Was
that
it a
mile
run?
and a half and seven with that
It was a
7
run.
minutes?
It was a
Yeah, they killed me and we did it inside the gym at the high school in Auburn, but
it's
I
usually
just
the
did it.
run or the sit-ups that get people.
Sit-ups and push-ups, I was good. I was
Yeah,
banging them out.
it's
Here come
usually
this
the run.
running.
For bigger people, it's always the sit-ups. Um, But yeah, the run is that it's tough if you don't run, it's
at
absolutely
all.
absolutely gonna be tough. Yeah, but
Give me
I really I was young. I was just coming
yeah,
out of
you was
college.
good to go. You still young. You was in your prime at 23, 24.
Exactly, for
So you
sure.
so you took that job and you went to the academy. You came back home. Were you scared those first couple shifts of not knowing what was going to happen when you know the violent deaths in Syracuse?
Oh,
Were
absolutely,
you
man.
kind of iffy?
When I started, my first shift was an overnight shift, and it
So
was on
you they
Friday
put you in the
too.
trenches. They put you in the trenches your first
So
shift.
listen, so I'm thinking like it's overnight, everybody sleep, we can't really get too many calls.
Hell no.
Absolutely not, man. It was crazy, man. They definitely made me work for sure. My training, because you got to do field training for
Yeah,
like
yeah, for that
like I
damn near year, half the year,
like
6 months.
yeah, like 3 months. It's field training. It's like you got to do every shift for 3 weeks. So like they gave me a run for my money, man. It was crazy. A lot of calls, a lot of because you don't realize how much yeah people call 911 for everything,
Yeah,
like
all the time out there, especially out
everything,
there, every hour.
it could be dumb stuff. It could be serious stuff. It could be all type of stuff. Like people are constantly calling 911, and I didn't realize that until I actually got into a police car and start listening to some of this stuff. I'm like, they really just call 911 to let people know that
The cat on the roof.
there's this tree that's looking old and it look like it's about to fall. Like
Yeah, I don't
crazy,
think imagine what y'all deal with.
right?
And then how many like when you guys bid on the SRO officer jobs, is that something that you had to bid on when you
Or-
took the SRO job?
Right. Yeah. It was competitive, and fortunate enough for me, when the position opened, uh, they actually were trying to get more cops in the schools because that was right during this was 4 years ago now. So there was some school shootings going on. There was a lot of violence and fights going on in the schools. So they were actually pushing for more cops to get into the schools.
So
So
is this your fourth year there? Is fourth
this
year of the SRO?
for school year at Henninger, yup.
Okay. So when you was there a lot of people that bid on that job, or did like officers not really care about being in the
No,
school
no, no. It was
or not
competitive. There was a lot of people that put in for it. But again, what helped me during the interview process was the fact that I already did a lot of community work with the kids,
around there?
worked with the kids. I had a good reputation around the community, especially with the schools and stuff like that. Because I used to go, I still do it now, but going to schools and speak and stuff like that and meet
Yeah,
kids.
yeah, you got to come around the way to Roberts. I think I told you that. You got
Yeah,
to get up
yup,
that
yup,
Henniger. You got
correct.
to get up that Henniger quadrant and
Yeah,
come to
you
all
already.
of them
I've spoken at Roberts for the last 2 years. I just haven't been there this year
around
yet.
this way.
Yeah, right. So, but that actually helped me get the job was all the stuff that I put in and the work that I put in the community.
And then when was your I mean, you've been around basketball forever, but when did you decide you wanted to be that varsity coach at your alma mater? Did you
Uh,
know that? Was that a goal from all along? Since you
no, it truly wasn't. And the reason why I say that was because I do so much and I'm so busy. I didn't think I would never have the time to do it. You know what I mean? Until the opportunity presented itself, and I start looking around. I'm like, yo, this isn't here for nothing. Like, when do you ever hear about a kid going to Henninger, going to a high school, graduating from that high school, playing basketball at that high school, then being the school cop at that high school,
had it, it's
and now
rare.
have the opportunity to coach at that high school? That doesn't happen. I
It's
never heard.
rare.
So it's like a calling. It's like God put that there for me. I couldn't say no to it. You know what I mean?
When you we'll go on. We'll stay on like the police agency and all that stuff. They've been doing a lot of job, like a great job of promoting to get the like minority officers in.
Yes, yeah,
Do
for
you
sure.
think do you think that some of these kids are just scared to come join that environment because of where they're coming from?
Uh, yes, yes, I do. I think the majority of it is the cool factor of it. They don't, with being young, you're not thinking about the benefits and the perks that it has of being a police officer and how
20 years,
how
20
much you
years and
help
done.
act people like you or like that you grew up with and stuff like that. Excuse me, like they're not seeing that stuff. They're seeing like, oh, I ain't being no cop, I
I'm
ain't
gonna do this. Oh, they're gonna talk about
like
me.
they're worried about the stuff that don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, but as they start to get older, then they're like, you know what? I
Should have did it.
could have
Or I'm
did
gonna go do it now. Yeah.
so much. It's so many perks to it, and you can help so many people, man. And we need more minorities and more people that grew up obviously in our community to be police officers.
Sure. I mean, the numbers are better than what they used to be, along with the firefighters too. I
It's
know.
getting there. Listen, it's getting
Yeah.
there. They're moving forward, man. They are. They're
I
really.
remember I be practicing at Nottingham, and they be out there training. I remember I don't know if it's y'all when they, like the board president or the fitness whoever gives that fitness test, but that track used to be packed with people that were taking that
Oh,
fire and police
yeah, yeah.
test.
Because they do like the run. I think they still do the runs,
Yeah, they do it over there.
like get in
Yep,
shape and help
yep.
you out. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
But y'all, I mean, I knew it was real when they started giving out. I think at one point there was a $20,000 bonus and a
I know.
$10,000, yeah, and then a lateral transfer if you was already a police officer around somewhere.
Right. You can't say no to that. Like you gotta jump.
Uh,
Like you gotta grab that opportunity when you can for sure.
y'all
Because
still, and then y'all still, y'all really still a lot understaffed too, right? Y'all not where y'all need to be yet.
we're getting better, I think. But yeah, we definitely are still. I think we still could use a lot more people,
Oh,
definitely. Because what the problem is, we'll hire people, but now people are retiring at the same time.
yeah, a whole
So
bunch.
as you're getting people in, you're still losing people too.
You doing, and then y'all 20, y'all 20 and done or no?
I am, yeah.
Every 20? What you a tier
Somebody
4?
came before me that I got to do. If I'm not mistaken, I still got to do 20.
25 or 30?
But yeah, I'm a 20 and doneer. Yep, for sure.
You ain't gonna do 20 and be done, no.
You don't think so?
But you ain't retired at 44
I don't
or
know, man.
45?
I'll be. I can retire. I've been on 9 years now, so
11 more now. You still too young.
I'll be 43, I think.
Nah, you ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
So then let's go back to the basketball stuff. The obviously going with that culture change.
Right.
You see more kids at tryouts this year when they found out how everything was going with you and that preseason stuff
Definitely.
in the last couple of years. A lot more kids at
De-
tryouts.
definitely more kids that tried out. Yep. It was difficult, man, because a lot of these kids are good kids. I tried my best to keep some kids around.
Yeah.
Be
Red
a part.
Red was talking about keeping 17. I said, hell no, you ain't keeping. He kept coming on a different list every day.
Yo,
We be eating lunch. I said, no, you ain't keeping 17, dog.
right.
He damn near tried to. I know he tried to.
He did. 17 is a lot. You can't. I don't think you could do 17 is too much. You don't want to. You
He
don't
said,
want
man,
distractions either. You know what I mean? You don't want to have to keep track
yeah,
of.
yeah.
So
I said, whoever got the best grades. I said,
definitely
the last couple of kids that got the best grades, keep them kids around.
for sure, definitely. As long as they know they role. As long as they know they role.
So you've been around basketball too. How you feel about these kids going to prep school and leaving around the way?
You
That was
know.
my that was my basketball question that I knew I was going to ask you.
Yeah. The problem with that is, man, is that they'll see one kid doing it,
And then
and
they all
only
follow.
they don't even care about what the prep school is doing for them.
Mm-mm.
They just see him doing it, so they want to jump on board and get a commitment proposed to say I'm going prep, and that's the problem with it. I, you got to treat every case individually for us. Like you truly have to say, okay, is this the best option for Brandon Hanks for me to go to prep school, and not just oh hey, they going prep, so I'm gonna go prep too, because a lot of kids get trapped in that, man, and they
They
end
just
up
get caught
failing
up in them.
out.
They get caught up in seeing these kids. They see the Instagram post, but when they get to that school, they don't realize that there's a double
Start
A
looking
team.
around, it's like, yo, why did I come here? I'm
You
in the
could go to
middle of
OCC.
nowhere.
You could go to OCC and pay half that and get your
I gotta pay to
prerequisites
be
out of
here.
class.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But when I went to City Rocks, I really found out about prep school, and then I should talk to parents all the time. I talk to number one is Sarah McCarthy, Omar Robinson's mom that was at West Hill.
The goat.
She said I don't she said I don't give a damn about basketball. She said I care about his education.
And she
And I was
she
checking out
stands
Omar.
on that too.
Yeah.
Really
She ain't playing no games with
for
that.
sure.
I talk to her all the time and she said, I don't care about sports. I care about education. And I think Omar out there with like a 3.0, like a 3.8, 3.9 GPA.
Just
And I said that's what I talked to her all the time. I said she wanted the real parents, and
yeah.
it's always gonna be like that.
Again, like you gotta. But the problem with that is right now. Imagine if you don't have a Sarah McCarthy as your mom, and your information and your knowledge is being
Listen to somebody from the outside
be given to you by somebody that has no clue what they're talking about,
at
or
all.
another kid. You know what I mean? Your same age. That you know what I mean. So that's the scary part, man. That's why we got to get more people involved, hands on with these kids. It don't just got to be parents, other
Nah,
coaches. Any Naquan Gilbert could call me right now and ask me for advice. I'll stay on the phone with him right now and give him
absolutely.
whatever advice he needs to hear. And
Monique
that's
know the
how
same thing
all
too.
the coaches got to be. You know what I mean?
I got Jayla at Roberts. I'm telling her Jayla coming to SAS when it's time to play basketball. That whole family, that whole
Jalen,
family,
like,
good
how old is
people,
Jalen
man.
now? 5.
She only first grade, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna get her a SAS shirt and tell her that's gonna be my first signee if Monique watching.
Jalen ain't no hooper, man. She a cheerleader. She ain't
But
no.
yeah, she look pretty girl. Along with that prep school stuff, like these kids do not understand. Like, I mean, you went to Morrisville. I went from I went there. I was there '07. They
Right.
had ballers Like some of the kids could have went Division 1, and then you
Absolutely.
look at like Hudson Valley, Mohawk Valley, all the JUCOs that are around here. OCC's having a couple down years, CCC's having a couple down years, but these kids do not understand that JUCO basketball is a grind.
Yo, these kids think that just because it says Herkimer Community College or
That shit,
TC3 that they ain't going to no TC3. They
fuck
yo
out of
go
here.
go go to one of their practices and jump into 5-on-5 with them.
You got,
You
I
gonna
mean,
get
like even like
flowers.
Cortland and Oswego been running through shit in Division 3 the last
Heck,
3-4 years
up,
too.
man. Right,
You got
right.
Jeremiah Sparks could have went Division 1
Absolutely.
in basketball and football.
Right,
These
right.
kids, like I said,
Not
that's
no
why like when I was
cakewalk.
at
This ain't no cakewalk.
nah, man, like and then just being around City Rocks, like going to those like those EYBL tournaments
Right.
and then coming back home, and I'm like, these kids ain't got no idea.
Look at Dejour. He had
Dejor
to
got
get
that
to
shit
it.
out. He got that shit out the mud,
He had to get to it.
and then Amir on his way too. But like the
Right.
grind, like they out there in the Midwest, in the middle of nowhere. Like a lot of kids ain't doing that either.
Not at all,
But
man. And again, it's the ego and it's the pride. They feel embarrassed as if that honestly they would rather not even play basketball
then go do that grind.
than go do it. They would rather just be like, all right, I'm done hooping.
And then I
Just go
see
play for a year or two, get better, and then you try to work your way up.
at
Nothing's
all.
given to you. Ain't nobody gonna give you
Nah,
nothing.
hell no, not nowadays because you got kids. I mean, like these kids are gonna go up get kids that are 22 and 23 years old that are
Right.
gonna they try to get. I mean, even if they get there, they got to get there and stay there.
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
I mean, shout out to Gavin Doty, shout out to Trevor Rowe. They're sticking it out, grinding it out. But them
Right.
two, like Andreo, we're gonna see where Andreo goes after this year.
Yeah.
Bruce is getting busy. I think
Andre, Andre doing real.
Devontae Reed's getting busy too at
Yup,
JUCO school. But that
yup.
shit is a grind, man. Some of these
Right.
kids, some of these parents baby these kids too much to even let them reach their full potential because
Correct.
they're not making them work.
And the one thing I will say is this though, and I remember, and I always thank Coach Cerrone for this, is I think I mean, and myself as well, I hold myself accountable for this too. And I think now that I'm a new, first year coach, I'm gonna start doing this more. Is we have to start bringing these kids to go see them play more.
Yeah, I'm trying to
The
get to
competition, see
I
the
talk to
comp-
the OCC coach all the time. I'm gonna go to a couple girls games and
gotta
then I
start,
want to go.
yes, gotta start bringing these kids to go see them play and support them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because you
Even I mean
have
like
a kid
Lemoyne,
that
like some of them
get
kids
up with you, doesn't come done
absolutely.
with you for
They
sure.
gotta go like even Lemoyne, like those kids go see those teams that those kids play. Like
Right, right,
that shit is a whole different ball game.
correct, correct.
Even the
Yep,
teams that OCC's playing, like that shit is a grind. Like
right, man.
they play close to 40 games a year. And these
Right.
kids, I mean, a lot of them ain't even putting in work. And then
Oh,
let's go to the trainers part of the area. How you feel about the trainers that are in the area? Are they giving kids the positive influence that they need, or are they just doing it for their self clout? Would you say
um, to be honest with you,
there's
I
some
know.
good ones, there's some bad ones?
No, no, there is. Hold on, my phone. I'm just trying to see if can you still see me straight?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, so there are good ones and there's bad ones. The problem is if you're gonna be a trainer, just train them.
Yeah,
Just train them. Don't try to be his. How can I say this? Without sounding crazy.
you can't
Like,
take the credit for everything because they're coming to
yeah,
work out with you. I see it.
right, yeah, that
You know,
too.
I get tagged in it all.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to think that if you're gonna train a kid, give the kid the tell him the truth. You know what I'm saying? Tell the kid the truth.
Ain't no
Because I
false
don't want
hopes.
kids coming to me saying, "Oh, well, especially as a coach." And this hasn't happened to me. Don't get me wrong, but I could see it happening. Oh, well, my trainer said that I should be doing this and I should be doing that. No, your trainer's supposed to make you a better basketball player. Work on
Stick
your
to
skills.
stick to the
Better.
fundamentals.
I'm your coach. I'll be your basketball coach. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I don't want you to come. Don't be if you're a trainer. Don't come in between the coach and the player. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Like,
why,
don't
like,
tell him
when you
something
got
that could be negative, and now he looking at me crazy. Like, don't be contradicting. Is what I'm saying. Just be his trainer. That's all.
I think another one that doesn't get the credit that he gets is I think Billy Elam doesn't get the credit that he deserves either. Because I didn't seen this
Sure.
dude
Yo,
in
the man is
motherfucker. This motherfucker been in
a master.
gyms. He
He's a
been in
master.
he been in gyms with where the ceiling coming down. I don't know what church they used to be in during COVID. Water all coming through the ceiling. I mean,
He
him and
probably
Gil,
he
they
probably
take
out there. He probably out there right now. It's
in the middle of
40
nowhere in a
degrees
cold
outside.
gym in the
Right.
gym. He train you outside in the middle of winter if you want to go work out.
And
But Billy
don't need no
Elam
credit for it.
at
Don't need
all,
no
nah.
credit for it.
I think they had to force him to make an Instagram too, and then he
Right.
would do the AAU stuff with the gym raps too. He had a bunch of the top players around the way.
And he do a
Um,
lot of that stuff. Hit not to mess up the business portion of it for him, because I'm always thinking like a businessman, but
give me
a
$20.
kid
Let's
go to
go for
him
a
with
couple days.
$4 and say, "Yo, can you train me?" Yo, come on, come
Let's
on,
go.
come on, let's go.
Where we
Am,
where we going?
am I
Where we going
lying?
to work out at? Yeah,
Am
a
I
bunch of
lying?
parents. Nah, a bunch of parents told me that.
You
Like I
know,
said, you see the gym, you see where he go work out. He ain't in no fancy gym, or he ain't even at these high schools because he
not
really
at
don't
all,
mess with no people like that.
not at all.
And then
I love to get Billy at one of my practices, man.
he's just a good dude. And then while we on that, how you think AAU is so watered down now? How you agree with AAU nowadays, or do you dislike it?
Um, as a high school basketball coach, I love AAU. If and again, this is me being biased, obviously, to my players because of of what they're doing, but I just I agree. Like, kind of like let's go back to what Woody is doing over there with the Wildcats. Those kids are playing together at such a young age.
And you
It's
got a
gonna be
leader that know, like somebody like Woody, that they ain't doing that shit for the money. He got his own kids that he care about. He
come
got a
on,
whole
man.
damn community
Come
that
on,
coming up.
man. Come
They
on.
got a bunch of teams too over there,
Yo,
boy.
these AAU teams and stuff like that will put you on the team to win a game,
Just take
right?
that. I can't stand it, man.
Just to win a game, to win a game,
I
right?
can't stand it.
But is it bettering him as a player? You get
Mm-mm.
what I'm saying? To be on the same team with five other kids that's just out there for clips and get a couple dunks
I
and be
hate it.
seen. You know what I mean? What I will say is this is though, you can get good exposure with the AAU and with the social media and stuff like that. You can. I'm not naive
At the
to
right
that at
tournament,
all.
at the right tournaments too,
At
because
the
you're
right tournaments. If you go on to play, you know how that
anywhere
goes.
along the way.
I,
Who your point guard play for? Because I've seen him on a couple pages. Who he play for?
he played for I want to it wasn't CNY Impact. Was it CNY Impact? He
I
played
don't
on a
know who he
couple
was.
different teams. He
Yeah.
started. I remember a year ago he was playing with Born the Ball.
Okay.
And then he started playing with I can't remember the new team that he done jumped on now.
He
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a couple clips too. They got he I like that boy. He junior too. He got another
He's, a
year.
junior. He's tough.
Yeah,
Amir's tough.
you gonna
Amir's
be all
real
right.
tough. He
And
gonna
then
be good.
I hate watching these local tournaments, and you got if I'm going local, like my girls, we playing in 11th grade, or we playing in 16 and 11th grade. I don't care if you're in 9th grade. I can't
Right.
stand seeing these 11th graders playing in a 9th grade bracket. What are y'all not doing nothing?
Yo,
What if you
listen.
go out there and tear your ACL
I
and you
had to
gotta
get
be
on
out
my
for the whole year
listen, and I'm the biggest self critic. I had to get on some of my own kids about
about
that.
doing that
Like
dumb shit?
I do not like that. If you are 14, why are you playing in a 13U
At
tournament?
all. At
You know what I
all.
mean? If you're 14, you should be playing up
Uh,
anyway.
especially if you're
Play
playing
up.
local around the way.
These kids just want to again all to get a win,
It
not
don't
to
make no
get better.
sense.
To
Forget
get a
that
win, not
trophy.
to get better. You should be
That
playing up.
that trophy and that
I'm a
T-shirt.
firm believer in that. Play up for sure.
Anywhere in Central New York, Western New York, play up because you ain't gonna get better playing against them kids.
And the problem is some of these coaches is allowing it.
Yeah, they are.
Some of
And
the
then some
coaches
of
are
them
allowing it. Hey, yo, come over here. I need you for this tournament. You know, you small, so you can pass for a 13. No, that's
just
no come on.
lying. I used to hate
Weird.
doing that too. I used to
Weird,
hate
man.
it. That's why I stopped AU. But
Right.
just going from, and then there's just a different world going to watch that EYBL and then coming back home.
Correct.
Ain't too many Dior's and JJ's coming back through. Even like a
Right.
dude, like I don't know if you remember Damian Call back in the day.
No, I don't
That was at Rome Free.
no, I don't remember
He
him.
was a monster. He ended up at Utica, but like that.
He went to Utica College.
Yeah, he's at Utica now. Even like Dudinsky, like Jay's son, like mom, a 6'6" shooter.
Yep.
He's at St. Lawrence getting busy now. You ain't got to go D1 to go
Is
do
it
what
St.
you want to do.
Lawrence?
He's at he at St. Lawrence
Hey,
with the Macaulay twins.
yeah, yes. Correct. You're
Okay,
right.
dude.
Yep, you're
Even
right.
like basketball, even like when them dudes was here, like Dior and JJ and them, it felt like basketball fell off
Yeah, man.
after they left. It just felt like there was like a dip.
Yep.
These kids ain't working. These kids wasn't doing nothing. They don't want to go get in the gym. It don't make no sense anymore.
Listen, you can't just show up to the gym.
Nah, you got to go. Yeah, and they all think you can do that nowadays.
You got to put the work in. You got to put the work in.
So
That's why. And again, we talked about Nymir. That's why Nymir is so good and plays the way he plays now is because this kid walk around all day with a basketball in his hand.
and he lives at you can't just come out. You gotta practice basketball to be good at basketball. You're not just showing up.
All day.
It
All
don't
day.
make no sense.
Every single day. On Sundays, in the middle of the night, in the morning, he just play basketball all day.
So give me you had 3-3 right now for the season.
Yep.
Where's your what's just like a mid-season goal that you want to follow through with that you set before the season started? That you make sure you want to accomplish.
So right now, my biggest goal is to get every last player on my team. I need 85. I need 85 averages.
In school?
I need 85 averages. And what I will say this is I got lucky. I got lucky and blessed with kids that they do that already. Kenny, who's toward the end of, he's like probably our ninth, 10th man or something like that. Kenny, 93 average.
Yeah, I
Prince
seen
Pope,
you posted grades a
93
couple weeks
average.
ago, I
I'm
think, didn't
here,
you?
93 average. Like I really did get blessed with this team, and I got some great kids on my team. They're all passing all their classes. Like, we got a couple that I got to monitor and get right. Don't get me wrong, but they haven't been held accountable
Hmm.
like the way I'm holding them accountable. So, but that's my number one goal, obviously, is to get all my kids. I want them 85 averages because I want them to have options.
To see
You know, I
that
want them
grade
to have
level
options, and I'm not one of them. It sounds cliche, but I'm not one of those dudes that just say stuff that no, I really, 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 I'm passionate about that
to do
because it
that.
does give you options.
Because
Basketball wise,
the section gives out awards for that team average too, don't they? They still get that out?
I
The
don't know.
sportsmanship or that I don't forgot what they call it, but I know Section 3 give out one of them awards for the whole
I
team having like
know
being
that.
on honor roll.
Basketball wise though, um, we gotta win games, man. Like we just gotta win. I don't have an exact number because I don't like losing. I don't want to lose ever
Yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah.
Like I
And then
said,
y'all in triple A and then double A for the sectionals too?
yeah, yeah,
They did
yeah,
y'all how they did the girls?
yeah. We back doing that. So it's
So dumb. It don't make no sense no more.
yeah. So like we play all the Liverpools and the CNSs and the FMs and all of that. But then when we go to our, if I'm not mistaken, we go to sectionals. We don't
It's a
have to see.
double A. Yeah, it's a double A schools.
Yeah, yeah,
So you being in, I mean, you see the grind for Syracuse City School District's
yeah.
daily grind.
Hmm.
What would you say, like looking from the outside? I mean, you're SRO, but like academically, what do you say needs to improve the most to get that bad eye off the Syracuse City School District?
I don't believe that if you don't go to class and you skip Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I do not believe in Friday you could show up to school, get 6 packets, fill them
And
out that
make
day,
up for that
and you
work?
again. You get what I'm saying? Am I lying?
Yeah, nah, I used to see that
I'm
here.
sorry, but that has to be addressed, and you shouldn't be allowed to do that. And I get it. We want all our kids to
Yeah,
succeed.
yeah,
We
but
don't want anybody
they
to
gotta
be
be
left
there to
out.
participate. You can't just be pushing these kids through.
But I'm a firm believer is it's got to get bad before it gets better.
Mhm.
Let it get bad because
And
one
then I
day
don't think it can't get any worse than how COVID did these kids and then the last couple of years after COVID.
come on, come on. It's
But
not open these
I
kids at
think
all.
if
Nah,
I do believe it or not, they did change the academic rule this year. It's not up to the schools, the coaches, and the athletic department. It's up to downtown this year, isn't it? If they're failing a certain amount of classes, that they
I'm,
can make that work up on.
I don't know. I remember it being a new rule that if your credits didn't match up to where your grade is, or if you're a junior and you don't have a certain amount of credits that you should have if you're a junior, then you can't play basketball or something like that. It
That's
was
what it is.
you got to do an appeal form, and then you got to
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
all this other stuff. There was a rule they tried to put in place last year about that, but then they looked at the numbers and realized all these teams were folding and
Yeah,
wouldn't
they
be able
won
to
at it.
play, so they had to go back to the drawing board on it. And I don't know what the latest outcome of that is. I'm not
I
sure.
remember. I know. I like Jesse. I mean, Jesse's been a coach, so Jesse knows how it goes.
Yeah,
And then
Jesse.
let's go about how you feel about the kids leaving to going to the Legends, the Liverpools, the Bishop Grimes. Do you think that that's pulling all the talent away from the city schools, and
Yes.
the parents need to stop speaking about the city schools because that's what's happening?
Now let me tell you this because I'm still a parent too, right?
Absolutely.
Like
We're gonna get a little man in a minute.
5 years old, right? Yeah. So my son is 5 years old. So as a parent, I can't be mad at another parent that does that. As
Hmm.
a parent, right? That's me speaking as a parent. Now, obviously, as a coach or as somebody that grew up in the city, that's exactly what's happening. Is our kids are leaving the city of Syracuse to go play at the Liverpools, the CNSs, the CBAs, and all these other schools out there. So now, and again, I'm competitive, man. I'm a competitive dude. I don't like when those coaches, and I'm not saying anybody in particular does it. They look at the city like, oh, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all won it. Y'all went 2-19. It's like
This shit is a
went
grind.
2-19. Y'all got all my kids. You know what I mean? All our kids left and went out there.
This
But
shit is
again,
a grind.
I understand it. You think what's better for your kid is at some of those schools, so you send your kid out there. I'm not
And
judging.
then I see that all the time. Like the parents send their kids out there. They wasn't posting when they was at Ham, Corcoran, Fowler, but you bring your ass to CNS Liverpool. You wanna go work at the concession stand. You wanna go do that.
Yup.
You can't be
Yup.
part. You
Nah,
can't
man.
you can't
Don't
play
run
both
from it.
sides.
Don't
Yeah,
run from it.
that's what Nick say. Nick say don't run from the grind.
Don't run from the grind. I'm here. Listen,
do it.
I can go coach anywhere.
Yeah.
You think I
But I
want to
do
be taking 5 kids home at 9 o'clock at night with a 5-year-old son who got to get up in the morning, and
at
now I
all.
got 4 kids in my back seat at 9 o'clock at night that I got to
We
drop off. My son don't get to bed till 10 o'clock. You think I want to be doing that every
I
day?
hate it too, man.
You
I
know?
when I first went to well, I started out at ITC in 2015. I ended up with a Pontiac Montana van to bring kids home. I was riding in my van. I ain't had no heater or nothing.
You had no
And
heater,
I
man.
had nothing. And then I went to Nottingham. I got a Chrysler Pacifica, but I was it was around the time I was having kids too. But
Yeah.
the parents don't see that shit, man. I'm still bringing kids. I'm bringing my girls home now. I'm bringing them to work now. And I know
So,
you see my status.
so
I posted
imagine being a coach, wanting your team to do good, but the only way they're going to do good is if they get better. The only way if they get better if they go to practice. The
and you
only way
gotta
to go
go
to
get
practice
them.
is if you give them a
You gotta
ride.
go
You
pick them up,
know what I
man.
mean?
And I know you see my work status the other day because me and Red was talking about he had a kid say he had to go to work, and I had a girl that was gonna miss the game at Henninger that said she had to go to work.
I didn't see that till today.
That post that I made, that was because me and Red was talking in lunch. I had
I
a
didn't see
girl.
that till today. Absolutely, and it's
We was
true.
we was coming to play Henninger. She said I got to work, coach. I ain't gonna be there.
When did you find out?
The Tuesday night that we lost to Marcellus, it was the next day we was coming. I'm glad the snowstorm game and the game got canceled against Henninger. I said, damn, how am I to deal with this, man? I said, I done been there. I said, my
Yep.
grandma stopped giving me money at 16, so I had to go get a job too. My first job was at a Chinese restaurant. And I'm
Red.
like, I can't. This girl's buying her own stuff. These kids buying their own stuff. They got to buy their own shoes.
Yep.
They got little siblings to take care of them. I said, I can't even get mad. I
Yo, that's
can't.
why
If they're going to work, they got to go to work to get that money.
everything you're doing is going to pay off, man. Like getting them kids shoes and just all that stuff, man. Just
Yeah, it comes with it. It comes with the
doing
territory.
social media stuff with them, giving them some motive. That makes these kids want to work hard.
Yeah, they want to come out. I got I shout out to Pat Twan because I got customized jerseys on the way too. That I got the girls. They got their last names on them.
Oh, they on the way right now.
Yeah, Pat, he doing everything with them uniforms. So I
That's
said, let me
tough.
get an order.
That's tough. Make sure I
So
want to see them. I want to see what they look like. That's
hopefully
tough.
they draw some more girls over because I might be the first one in the section with their last names on their jerseys. But
I really I like what you're doing, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But the girls Henninger basketball team just did it already, so you might be a little bit too late. But it's still cool though. What you're doing is good. Keep
Ben
up.
as we got Ben keep I got a makeup game with Ben too, but we got them in January too. They tough, man. They tough. I like Anise
Oh,
Odom.
you
She
didn't play them yet?
nah, the snowstorm
That's
came. We
right.
supposed to play
That's
them
right.
last
I
Wednesday.
thought it was Utica. You're right.
Um
Right.
they yeah, they tough. I seen Anise caught a ball in the post and hit what she did that drop step and spin move. I said, damn.
Get into it right now, man.
Yeah, it is.
Right
And then
now.
Sinai hurt her knee. I hope Sinai wasn't hurt, but I seen her out there the next game.
Yeah, she okay. I think she all right.
Sakai got in foul trouble, but
Yeah.
shit, that's Nottingham and Henninger battles. They need that. Everybody need them city school battles
I just had to pay Nymir $100 not to get a foul in the first quarter.
or that. Man, I
Like
had
this
a girl
foul
foul
stuff.
out.
Stop, man.
My senior point guard had 4 fouls yesterday in the second quarter. Lucky she didn't foul out, but that's my starting point guard that had it. Yeah, girls basketball is a different ball game, man.
Yeah, yeah.
But that culture stuff is going to change, and I hope around the way. But
Right.
let's go back to that. When those kids go out to the CNSs and the Liverpools,
Mhm.
and they come in and beat up on us, do you think that the small schools should be playing the big schools? Because me being in the middle of it now, them classes have an effect because C schools should be playing AA schools, B schools should be playing them AAA schools. How you feel about them classifications?
Nah, I mean, I'm all for it. I don't want to. Again, it's always been we always played those type of teams. You know what I mean? And I'm not. But again, the times have changed, and the pendulum, is moving. So right now, it's moving toward the direction of they just are good right now. But
Mhm.
I believe with new coaches and this new environment coming with these younger coaches that have played basketball before and stuff like
Been
that,
around it.
and around it can relate to the kids a little more. I think the pendulum is going to swing back in our direction again. I do, and I'm not willing to run from that. I don't want to run from it at all
No,
because
I'm not either. That's the
I've
first thing I
lost
told
before.
I told Reggie. I said I'm gonna be here for a long time, not a good time.
I've lost before. I ain't worried about it. Honestly, it makes me better. It keeps me sharp.
And it's gonna feel better when you
Figure
build
out how
that.
to get my kids to be good and play the right way, so that way we can win games. I like it. It keeps me sharp. It keeps my mind going. Like I like it, and I
That
don't
2
want
and 17, when
I
that
don't
2
want
and
to drop a
17 go to
class.
7, when
I
that
don't want to
17
drop
and
a
2
class
come
because
around,
losing. Like
nah,
I'm not with that. I'm all for the grind. I'm cool
you
with it
building that grind, it's gonna feel better when that 2 and 17 go to 17 and 2.
for
That
sure.
you
For sure.
had all hands on deck with
For
that.
sure. for sure, absolutely. So that's my stance on it. I'm good with I'm good. I like it here. I love
I
it
don't
here.
like it because my damn small ass school. I don't belong playing the big dogs, but I'm gonna
Listen,
grind out the rest of the season.
right. Eventually, though, it will get
I'm
to.
scheduled all Class B schools next year, and I don't give a damn. I'll throw Nottingham in there just to go back home. I'm not playing no big schools though.
You ain't having it.
No, hell no. I don't know what they got going on this year. And then top dogs. Who would you say the top dogs are on the boys' side this year? Besides, we already said Jazier and Nyquist. I mean, we said Jazier and
Jazar,
Naquan or Naquan. Who else are the top dogs to you this year
Joel's Lewis from Henninger High
from you
School.
guys? He do it
Joel's
all too.
Lewis, Joel's Lewis, Henninger High School.
He does it all. I'm gonna say Fred. I'm gonna go. For, you go. You gonna be biased. I'm on the girl side now, so I can name names now. But I'm gonna go with Freddie. Adam Daquan.
Freddie,
Uh,
Freddie's an animal.
Freddie do it all. Trombley been balling too.
Yeah.
Um, Liam with Jazier, and then Rome got three big. You got Rome this year?
No, we are.
Yeah, Rome got three big dogs too.
Nope.
Oh, Usai jumping out. Usai jumping out the gym now. I just seen the
Coach,
boy catch an alley oop the other
Coach
day and cock it back
Medicis,
to
man.
it.
Listen, Coach Medicis, he did his big one with them.
They gonna. I
He
take
did,
it's gonna be them seeing us or letting. But if y'all go, y'all not gonna have to worry about them because y'all not AAA for sectionals, right?
Rome's scary though. Rome is
He
tough.
got he got three, and they point guard only. He got a whole nother year too.
Right.
Them three, he got three out there. Corcoran got. I like Abdi. I don't. Jetty probably still in football mode, so I don't think he did nothing yet. But
Abdi, Jetty played Jetty
did
played
he?
good the other day.
Shout out to him. Ed got who? Oh, Ed beat y'all beat Nottingham, and then they beat Nottingham the next day,
Yeah, we beat Nottingham Friday, and
Friday, and then they beat him Saturday.
yeah.
Where that school was from that y'all that second game that y'all played?
So they're from New York City.
Oh, they came way up here for that.
No film on them at all. So the way how that got set up, that was already on the schedule before I got here. But the old West Hill coach, forgive me for not knowing his name. He was there for like 30.
With the long hair, that got the state championships.
Correct.
Not Donnelly, but the other one. I know what you're talking about.
Correct. His son coaches in New York City, that team.
Down there?
Brought them here. They went to a SU game. Like, they stayed at a nice hotel. Like I actually got to talk to him for a little while.
So y'all be
Saturday.
the New York. So y'all be the New York City team then.
Yeah, they're from New York City. Yep.
They do. It's different down there too, ain't it? Like it ain't no. It's like classes down there. They ain't no sections down there. It's like
Got like
classes.
academies or something like that.
Yeah.
Like academy is.
They only score. Which y'all held in the what? Like they only score like 35 points. What was it?
No,
35, 35?
no, we beat them by 20, but they ended up scoring 60 points. They shot the ball really well. They had two really good shooters that just
Oh,
didn't
maybe
miss.
it's a different score I looked at then.
Yeah, we won 81 to like 60 or something like that.
And then how would you that turnout was good for that tournament? Because it was kind of iffy, right? I remember when I spoke to you in like September, October, they said that it was on the fence about having it.
For
The city tournament?
this past weekend?
Yeah, the crowd was good every day, right?
Packed. Great crowd, packed every day, Saturday and Saturday.
So it'll probably be at Corcoran next year, right? Because was it at Ham last year?
Ham last year, Henninger this year, and yeah, it should be Corcoran or Fowler next year.
It was at Fowler 2 years ago, I think, if I remember correctly. I think we need to do that for the girls too, because the girls need that showcase now too.
I thought we did at one point. No,
I can't remember what it was because I don't know how Corcoran doesn't have a girls team either because it's them, SAS, and I think Fowler all together on that Syracuse West team. But
I think it's
I gotta get with Tia.
See,
Yeah, it's ITC, Fowler, Corcoran.
Yep.
They all together for that Syracuse West team. But yeah, the girls got to go with that. Like if the Corcoran girls, if Henninger girls play Ham, the Ham girls got to play before and the boys got to play after. That's how it should be.
Do they revisit the numbers for trying to get their own school like at Corcoran or trying to get?
I think somebody said I don't know if Camille told somebody that, but they said that Corcoran girls should have a team next year.
Oh, really?
I hope they do because I think Camille's from Corcoran, and she's the coach of that Syracuse West team. So I hope that they do.
Right.
They should
like
have.
I just always wondered if they revisit it and try it.
Do.
You know what I mean?
But I think the numbers were so low that they haven't in 4 years because I think they came. I was at ITC my first year in 2015. I think they had a girls team back then, and then it went to that Syracuse West team. But girls basketball down is down. Girls basketball is down too, but girls don't play like that because they got so much stuff going on. But
for sure.
I got to tell Tia and the girls schools around that we got to bring that back.
Yeah, man. That's
because
now something like that could bring the excitement back.
Yeah. And have everybody come back out.
Girls playing, it could bring the excitement back.
They've even the city schools plus SAS and then Syracuse West in there. Throw that in next year. Like I said, when Henninger girls play when y'all play Corcoran, that Corcoran can play after y'all.
Right.
Nottingham girls can play, and we play back to back. That more
Well, you
people
can
be coming
throw those other schools in
in
there,
there. Yeah.
the other girl schools in there to play against them and stuff like that. It don't got to be just Corcoran versus Ham and Henninger versus.
Nah, just for that city tournament, that there should be one to
Yeah,
have at each school
no,
each year.
for sure,
But
for sure. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
the numbers just got to get back up.
Yeah.
What else is left, man? The culture's already changing. Where you let's talk about little man. I see what this little man be around basketball all the time too. He like my little one. I
Hey
see
man.
he got a
Oh,
little jersey on too.
put his jersey on. He know how to tuck his own jeans now. The jersey like a 3X. He don't
Yeah, I see that. I see
tuck
that. He was in the huddle, man.
Yo, the man the other day, I'm yelling at the kids on the court, coaching. He come up next to me, grabbing my leg, talking about daddy, daddy. I'm like, I gotta get my kids like, yo, get little Brandon and back him up. Cause I feel bad sometimes because he's always in the gym with me.
Yeah,
Always in the gym. So now it's like I gotta make sure I find a balance to where he can still be a kid too. I
yeah,
still
yeah, yeah. I
kid, yeah.
bring mine around too.
But I
Mine
always
just turned 5. November 4th, he just turned 5. But he my oldest don't give a darn about sports, but
right.
he live and die.
Yeah, yeah.
We got to get them up too because they're the same age.
Yeah, that
And then
right.
let's talk about Grams. Grams gotta be your biggest supporter, right?
Yo, listen, I had to put my phone since I've been on the phone with you. I had to put it on do not disturb
She
because
keep calling.
from Bingo wanting to ask me, Duke, Duke, can you put me on the interview? Can I be on the Graham?
Try to
Stop
come
calling.
through, man. My grandma raised me, man, so I already know how it is. I lost my grandma, man, to brain cancer, so I already know grandma was special. My
Yeah,
grandma raised me. She ain't
yeah,
never missed a game for basketball, football, or baseball.
yeah.
She let my coaches coach me, so I know your grandma's good.
Yo, listen, and a part of me, and that's why I'm so close to her, is because I hear stories like that all the time.
Yeah.
Hate it, man. I hate hearing that because you obviously
She
you
seemed I mean, she still seemed young too. I know I don't care about how old she is, but she ain't aging. She still seem young.
yo
She ain't
not
up in the 80s or nothing.
not too much, not too much.
Nah.
My grandma, she ages, she old. She about
She don't seem
79,
it.
something like that right now.
She don't seem it. I lost my grandma when she was 90, man. So that's it. She lived a long time. I
God
couldn't.
bless her.
She was
Yeah, God bless her for real.
oh yeah. But grandmas are special, man. Then I like seeing grandparents at games too.
Yeah.
And the kids that got grandparents that are raising them. I
Right.
just like when they be out there supporting them.
Yeah, my
But
grandma, like she the best. She definitely the goat. She actually did the concession stand. I hired her for the concession stand at the SAS game.
I was
She had
there
quit.
and she
She
would leave me
quit
alone.
halfway through. She said, "I can't take this no more," and quit. Right? Comes on the comes and sits behind my bench. It's the third quarter. We playing. She flagging me down, talking about, "I saved you some chicken wing." Like I'm coaching
I
right
think you
now.
told me that before the game. I think y'all ran out of pizza. She was trying to find you
Yeah,
before the game started. I
she's
remember.
like, "I saved you some. I saved you." Graham, I don't want to hear that right now.
She gonna take care of you no matter what the
Always,
situation is.
always, always.
But yeah, I
Yep.
think the culture changed over there, man. The culture's changing around.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I do.
It's gonna change because them top dogs are gonna lose. They losing a lot of the CNSs and the Liverpools. They losing a lot of kids. They're gonna reload, but
Yeah.
the city schools is back. Y'all
Yep.
got a good crew coming up. Y'all JV team is good.
Yeah. JV
Nottingham,
look. JV look real
JV
good.
team's good.
JV.
Ed got the kids in the gym.
Yo, listen. Not all of them really. All the schools
It's
right
gonna be a
now.
battle.
Kids are looking real good right now, man.
They coming up.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. And I that's the one thing I did is when I got the job is I tapped in with my modified kids,
The
with my
ones that
freshman
the younger
kids.
coaches coming up.
Yeah, you got to because them gonna be the ones. 3-4 years from now they're gonna be the guys. So
You can't just throw them gym teachers in there too. I hate seeing that, but
yeah, that's rough too
they do
because
get those.
right because they
They in
doing
the
it because
building. Yeah, they in the
it's
building.
convenient. They're in the building. You know what I
They
mean?
see the kids every day. I agree
Right,
with it, and then
right.
I don't
Me too. Me
because
too. Me too. A part of me does understand
yep,
it and
yep,
agree
yep.
with it. If
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 they got
if you
basketball knowledge, it's fine, but don't just
if
be
you
out there
got
for
the
no
ones that
damn.
exactly that
Don't be out
actually
there for no. Don't be out there for that extra check when you ain't really
correct.
teaching nothing.
Correct. And I got a couple. I got some really good
Good ones,
actually
yeah,
modified
y'all do
coaches
too.
in Newkirk, Cook, Davis. Like I got some good modified coaches. I will say that I was blessed.
I got to get to the modified too because I just want them to just have 4 simple plays. So when they get to JV, y'all know the system that's already put in
Well,
place.
what's your modified
I
team?
get whoever Reggie said I got to go. Whoever grab somebody, he said I get to pick who I want. But if there was no issues last year, she's gonna
You
keep it.
said for
But
the middle school, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
because if there wasn't no issues, whoever it was can keep that job and then just give me
Okay.
updates on the
Yeah.
kids.
Yep. For sure.
And then I think the summer too, we got to do something for the middle schoolers for the summer,
Yeah, I'm with that.
like a
I
camp
actually hosted a middle school tournament.
over the
Um,
summer.
no, just right before. I think it was October. Did we do it October? I think we did it in October.
That's why
Um,
I made a post about like the modified and
it
freshman
was like a
kids,
middle
but
school showcase where I had
yeah,
like I think it was only like 4 or 5 teams, but we came in did a tournament. Was it a 2-day tournament? Yeah, it was cool. Yep.
do that every. Yeah, I remember. Actually, I do matter because I think how you say Natalia Bola is it Natalia Bolak or
Niatwa, Niatwa.
she was posting about it.
Yeah, yep.
Shout out to her. She got a lot. She got a lot of stuff going on too. That's helping kids. I don't
Always,
know.
she
I don't know
always,
her like that, but I follow her.
always, she just for the community. You know what I mean? She lives it,
Keep
breathes it.
people involved there. And then
Yep.
we ain't talk about the restaurant. What up with the restaurant and the food?
Listen, it's coming,
It's
man.
coming.
Grand opening. Don't miss out. Be there. I'm
Uh,
hoping. I had
I
to.
had that fish sandwich. I said, damn, that fish sandwich filled me up for the whole day.
It was
I ain't
good,
eating nothing
right?
the rest of hell yeah.
I put my foot in that, man. I do that.
Yeah.
You know.
What so what you like a restaurant and bar? It's gonna be a restaurant for
So
food that you
there's
got.
a side. There's one side is which is a restaurant, and there's another side which is a bar. So yeah, restaurant,
And
bar,
then
lounge.
what's that address again?
411 North Salina Street. It was formerly Asti Cafe. So
The
I got
brick on the corner, right?
correct.
The
Yep,
brick
brick
building
on
on
the
the
corner.
corner.
Yep, yep, yep.
You bought it or you like renting the space out, or you bought the whole spot?
No, 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 no. I'm renting it
Renting
out.
it out?
I got it back in I think May, and I just we
Fix
went
it
in
all
there
up.
and fixed the entire thing up, and
I see
we
Jetty
should
was
be
trying to
we
make it
sh-
a barber shop in there too, wasn't he?
yo
For
Jetty
that?
done. He was supposed to be working, and he brought his clippers.
Get that
Double
buddy,
dipping,
Jetty.
actually. I think he was double dipping.
Get that buddy, Jetty.
Right.
That little boy a beast on a football field
He
too.
is. He is. That's my guy, man. That's
He
my
gave
guy.
I remember he gave Nottingham 25 last year too for
He
basketball.
did. I know. I'm gonna hate to have to do that to him this year.
Yeah.
Why you bring that up?
Where that he a dog too. He's just a dog. Where the
Yeah.
where that cooking stuff came from? What you say, your grandpa?
So my dad. So I and to be totally transparent, I don't cook. I don't know how to cook. I never did. My father is a chef. He actually been cooking my entire life. I just never learned or watched him cook. So I was
That's
kind of
gonna be
spoiled with that.
that's your
So
master chef then at the restaurant?
right. So yeah, that's the head chef. So now I always wanted to do something because I don't want to be working forever, man. You know, like I don't want to be doing that
I
forever.
know.
So
I
I want
already
to have
know.
something that I could leave my son when I'm no longer here, and
Absolutely.
sort of like a money maker. So that way I could, when I am done coaching, I could just travel around with him and watch him, and have the business going. And yeah, so that was the idea behind that, is trying to get a business started. So I finally got it, and we should be doing a grand opening.
You gonna do
Hopefully,
like a like you
hopefully
have like a bar in there too and all that? Like look, you
everything.
have
Yep,
all that?
yep, everything. Yep, yep.
I
Hmm.
got my wife be bartending. Well, she used to bartend, so let me know. I'm sending her
Really?
for a couple of years.
Okay,
That's
that's
what
good
she
to
always
know.
used to do before she started teaching.
That's good to know. All volunteer, right? She just volunteer free. She
She
don't
don't
want to
need
get
that
paid, right?
bread. Now she worse than me sometimes with some money. But that's another thing. Like you got your kids go down. You had the kids in the program going right down there working like you did all year long too. And you
Oh,
had a whole crew.
absolutely. They
You
get down there too. Yeah,
you had
special
a whole
project.
crew. You had a whole crew
Yep,
down there in the summer.
absolutely. Yep, they get right to it, and I'm so appreciative of it, man. And I like to think it's because of, I pour into these kids. I really do. So
Yeah, they know that.
so
Everybody
when
knows
I
that.
call them and I ask them to do something, it's never really, they don't give me an issue with it. They
Come
don't.
work up something.
Yep, for sure. Yep.
How's the how you say how was the culture at Henninger like throughout the school? How's school been at Henninger? Hectic
Yo,
or laid back?
Henniger, Henniger's is has completely turned around, man. It is
Yeah, I had a
like,
bad rep last year. I remember.
yeah, yeah,
Ain't heard
yeah.
nothing negative yet. I don't
No,
think it
no,
ain't been nothing negative since that stuff happened in Lincoln last year. I think that was the last negative thing from the
and for
district.
school wise, right? Yeah,
Yeah, ain't
we're
nothing been
getting
going
there.
on.
Like man, the city always get a bad rap when something
Yeah,
happens,
man.
as if stuff
My office
happens
is
everywhere. You know
yeah,
what
my
I mean?
office is in with the social workers, and I be seeing these ladies don't stop working. Even like the social worker assistant, she nonstop
Our social workers don't stop either. They
at all.
we got like I think 4 right now in our building.
And yeah, I got 200 social workers. And then the other thing is that those E&L kids, boy, these teachers be working hard to get them to understand the English language that
Correct,
people don't look like from the
and they
outside.
don't speak
They
nothing,
don't
no
speak.
English
You gotta call the hotline to talk to the parents. It's a different
every,
world, man.
all day. Yes, yep,
I
yep.
like that diversity, but
I do too. That was a cool, and I didn't really realize we had that program until like I think
neither till
last
I
year.
came. This is for I didn't even well, I heard about it, but I see it firsthand now because they got their own like they're all the E&L kids are all in the same classes. And
Right,
those classes they work on English stuff and
right.
those teachers out there grinding, but
Yeah,
yeah, ain't been nothing major either. And I think the new superintendent is it Mr. Davis?
Tony Davis. Yep.
He's involved too. He came to he came to Roberts a couple of times. He's in and out. He's
We
sending
couldn't ask
emails
for a
all the
better
time.
superintendent.
Yeah, he's a
Couldn't
good
ask for a
dude.
better superintendent.
And he goes to a lot of sports games too. I don't know if he's an
Comes
athlete
to
back in the
office.
day.
He's always there. He's always
Yeah,
around. He'll do, and he's approachable. He's
yeah.
not one of them dudes where you got to call him out.
Walk
No,
by him.
walk
He
right
say
up to
what's
him,
up.
talk to him.
He say what's up. Yeah, he say what's up when you see you. You ain't gotta say what's up to him when you see him.
Very approachable. He's actually around. You can see him. You know what I mean?
And then how many that thing that you always see is that there's like the principals are always moving around too. How many principals are at Henninger since you've been there? You on your third?
No, I think we just our second one.
She been in the second one.
Yep,
I
just
just wanted.
we had Miss Dowdell. She was the best ever. I loved her. She
She
was
was
there when
there
I was
when you
there.
first gained there.
Best ever. Yep, best
You got,
ever.
and then still, it's a female now too, Henninger, right too?
Yep, Miss Vendetti, and she's doing an
She's
amazing
cool
job
too.
at her. Amazing, amazing. She's helping like turn this entire thing around. Like she's doing a really good job. And
Y'all
we're
still got that
together.
Twilight? Y'all still got the after school stuff too? That Twilight
No, so
over
we
there?
don't have Twilight no more. No, they got rid of that. I'm
And then
pretty sure they got rid of it. If they
Ham
got
doesn't have
something
it either
else,
too.
they got something else. I don't know what they call it now, but
To
yeah, we don't have
help the kids
Twilight
get
no more.
their diploma or the
Up
GED
good they
stuff.
did. Yep.
And then and then that's where the city schools get hurt too, because they counted those beds when it comes to like the classifications. That's why like Ham always got stuck in double A. Y'all was always in triple A.
Right.
I remember that. Me and
Right.
Nick Patterson told me about that actually too. But
Yes. I'm
they
still
used to,
learning about all that stuff, so
yeah, they
forgive
used to
me if I
count
don't.
those kids that came into the after school program. They ain't even there during the day. Why y'all counting them?
Right.
But I guess it got something to do with funding and the amount of beds.
All funding. All funding. Yep, for sure.
Well, you my dog. I'll where you at FM this week? I got Skinny Atlas Friday, but I'll be around
This
to catch y'all again
oh,
too.
so you got a full week of practice?
Yeah, we going all
That's
week.
good.
Man. Yeah, they need it.
Listen,
Just doing.
we had to play 3 games in 4 days.
Yeah, I gave him last Monday off after we played on Saturday,
Three
but
games in 4 days, man. And then we got to
yeah,
practice in between, like on that date. So my kids,
you got a little break over. Which schedule over? Christmas
we got
break.
a after FM. We don't play again till I
Yeah,
think
Red's like January
January
7th, I think,
8th.
right? Yeah.
January 8th. So I gotta try to find a couple scrimmages to throw in
I
there.
added that. I added that Utica Downtown Classic, but they don't put me with. I got to play damn Albany Academy, but
How they
that'll be
look?
a good experience. I don't know. They lost a lot, but they got
Did they?
that's a private
You're
school.
going
So
down to Utica to
yeah,
play?
we going down there
Is
the
Proctor in it?
29th. Yeah, they're all the schools down there in there. It's like
UAS too?
yeah,
UAS?
they all down there. They got a
Okay.
game,
They
and then I
tough
think
down there
Rome,
too, though, right?
and I think Rome is they good down there, and then
They're
Rome's
tough.
playing. I think Rome might be playing Niagara Falls too for the boys
Really?
side. Yeah, and then
Okay.
CNS just knocked them off too,
Yeah,
and then
was that here or did they go to Niagara Falls?
they went down there.
Okay.
Andrew Benedict, and he gonna be another top dog too. Him and Francis too.
For sure, man. For
Triple A
sure.
is loaded, and then Bevo got the MJ. Did Bevo beat y'all too?
Yeah,
Were they
Beaver
tough?
beat us. MJ is
Yeah,
very
he's
good.
good. And then
Very
the little light skin point guard too.
oh, yep, MJ is very good. He
But
don't get
that
enough
coach
credit.
he played college basketball too, right? That new Bevo coach. I think I read the article.
Brown? Is it
Yeah,
Brown?
he ain't no newbie. I think he played college basketball.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
He took that job late too,
Yeah,
but
he's doing a good job.
he got
They always do good with their kids out there, man. They do.
Bevo and
Keep
FM.
them involved. Like
They
they
keep
do
him
a good job.
scrappy.
Yep.
But I'm curious to see where y'all go. It's gonna be fun the rest of the way. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it
get
is.
everybody else on. I appreciate you for coming on.
No, thank you, man. I
You
appreciate
already
that. Thanks
know.
for reaching out, man. I love doing stuff like this. And
Hey, I gotta get everybody out. I'm gonna get right on to the Red to talk is junk. Then I'm gonna get James and Mar.
yeah. I'm not. Listen, I'm not. I don't. I mean, I like to have fun. Don't get me wrong. I don't talk junk yet because we ain't where we need to be yet.
Nah,
So
I can't say nothing either. That's why
we'll
I'm
we'll
quiet.
talk about it. We'll get there one day and we'll talk about it. But we coming for sure. We definitely coming.
Everything is getting built. Everything over there. Y'all good over there. Y'all the system already changed, the culture changing. I was coming over to the
And
basketball.
yo, as long as people tell me that, it helps me keep going. As long as I
Everything
hear that, actually from people, especially basketball mind people like yourself,
you done
that does
changed
stuff
it.
in the
Yeah, everything
community.
done changed it.
Like if I hear that, nah, I can keep going.
I said 6 in the morning. You had a gym full at 6 in the morning. I said everything done changed already.
Yeah, man, because we so far behind. We got to get that. We
Yeah,
got to
and
get there.
the kids buying in, so they good over there.
Right.
I just
I
hope
do got a good group of kids, man. I love these kids. I do.
culture keep changing. I mean, I
Right.
hope the violence come back, but every day I
Right.
go to Hillbrook, there's a damn new kid in there every shift I work, and I'm
Yeah,
like, damn,
now
man.
that right there is tough to see. That's tough to deal with,
I think,
especially if you know some of them got talent.
yeah, man, that y'all
You know
know
what I mean?
because there's a couple kids from Henninger over there. I know Ed had a bunch of like Corcoran too, like
Yep.
got 6'7" kid in there, 2 kids that are 6'5",
Yep.
a bunch in there that should be out playing. They just got dealt the wrong hand and they made
Right.
the wrong choice. But
Right.
some of them got real time coming, and then some don't, and then some want to come back. But
Yeah,
it
that's
takes like
man.
dudes like you out there that got to change. They got to change the culture out there because
That's why we got to grab onto them kids.
motherfuckers can't keep killing each other and robbing each other, shooting each other. They got to stop that shit.
Got to grab onto them early, man, and show them that's not that ain't what it is.
Especially they getting younger and younger. A couple of 13-year-olds in there that shouldn't be nowhere near either.
Right.
And they want to prove a point for no reason at all.
Correct.
But it's changing.
Yeah, we getting there slowly but surely for sure.
I'll see you within the next couple of weeks. I'll probably see you over Christmas break.
Okay.
All right,
if
big
I
dog.
don't, man, Merry Christmas to you.
You already know. You too.
You and the family. I appreciate you, man.
Same to you. I'll
Thanks
see you
for
later.
everything. Okay.
You already know.
All right.